Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Pierre and this is Simple Home Brew. This video is a two-part video on all grain brewing a IPA Brimstone. I've taken it from the Grainfather website and adapted it for the grains I can get here. The first one is preparation, just adding the grains, steeping them, adding the hops. So stick around, it might be very interesting for you, I hope. Just to warn you too, it was a really windy, blustery day, so you'll hear a lot of rain and a lot of noise, so enjoy. G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing an all grain brew. I haven't done one for a while. I'm using the Grainfather. I'm going to do myself an IPA Brimstone. The IPA Brimstone has 2 grains in it and a heap of hops. So stick around, it's going to be fun. Alright, what I'm putting in is pale malt from Cooper's Pale Malt, which is about 6 kilograms of Cooper's Pale Malt. I'm also putting in a caramel aromatic grain. That's only going to be 600 grams. I couldn't get the ones that were on the actual Brimstone recipe, so I had to make or grab something that was different. So hopefully this will taste great. The other thing is it's going to be a 4-step mash. So the first step is 55 degrees, the second step is 62, 68 and then 78. So there's a few steps going. It's about an hour and a half's worth of mashing. We are putting in hops. The hops we're putting in is Tetnanga, just 10 grams of that. We're also putting Citra and Cascade, and we're putting a lot of that in. There's about 100 grams of each going in nearly. So I'll tell you how much as I go, and I will put the recipe on the website. The yeast we're using is American West Coast ale yeast. We couldn't get the one they recommended, but this is an ale anyway, so I grabbed a West Coast ale yeast, and that's going to do the job. So here we go. So we've got our grains. This is about 6 kilos of pale ale malt, or grains, grain malt, malt grain, whatever. I'm putting it into 21.3 litres of 55 degree heat or water, and then I'm going to steep it for 10 minutes apparently. This will do it, and then it will increase the temperature. It'll increase the temperature to 62 degrees and leave that for 45 minutes. So let's get into it, eh? Right, just break the base of this bag open. And let it just flow out nice and evenly. We learn, don't we, hey? Look at this. I'll quickly stir this while it's flowing out. It's working well. I know you probably can't see much of what I'm doing there, but I'm trying. See, it'd be good to have a helping hand, but everyone I know is just not interested. So we just have to do it by myself. So we're just doing this to get rid of the dough balls that might come up or be caught in it. So the dough balls will basically be pockets of dry grains. We don't want that because the grains have to have water all through them. So, but that looks pretty good to me. Mixing it and pouring it at the same time was a good idea. Okay. And we'll start the timer. and I'll put the lid on. Oh. Put the lid on. This is going to be the last time you're going to see this grain. I'm just going to put this little basket in here. Throw it down till it reaches the surface of the grain. Now these rubber seals, they always seem to want to come off. Silicon. But we'll try not to let it happen this time. Bring that down to the surface of the grain. Right down till it comes above. That's it. Don't compress it or press it down, because what will happen is it will compress the grains and then you'll have all kinds of issues. Voila! Right, now we shall put the pump and get the flow going. And there it goes. Now I'll just quickly let that run for a bit, and we'll slow it down. It's about to switch over to 62 degrees and head into the 62 degree mash for 45 minutes. So you're ready for it? It'll beep away. Let me know it's done. There you go. So it's at 62 degrees Celsius. It's going to reach that temperature of 62 degrees and start a timer for 45 minutes. At the moment, as you can see, the timer's not running. In probably about 5 minutes, it will reach its goal temperature, and then it will start running. We're up to the second part of the 45-minute timer. It's increasing to 68 degrees Celsius, and our flow's going nicely. You can see the water is starting to clear out now, so it's looking really good. In about 20 minutes, I'm going to do my sparge water. Okay guys, I thought I might tell you about this. I'm outside at the moment. My tap's running. I have no running water in my brew shed, so I had to make a makeshift hose so I can actually cool down my wort. So what I've done, I've got my hose connected. It's connected all the way up here. I know it's a bit of a mess out here because it's been bucketing down rain. Had pretty crappy weather for a while. Anyway, just run here. This is temporary. And out here, I do have my hose sitting. Then I've got my old esky that I can just run it into so it disperses it better, the water I mean. And then the hose from the thing, I'll show you. The hose from the wort chiller will hang out the window. That's the output, and that's the in. So I've actually attached what came with this, a hose plug, so we can actually use that to cool the wort off. And it's just fresh water going through. It shouldn't be running for too long, so we should be right. So that's my setup for now, and all I have to do is just basically open this window here and run it out the window at the moment. I'll catch most of it in the esky, and then whatever is left over, we'll just run out. So let's see how we go with that, eh? So while we're waiting for the brew to happen, I'll show you around the shed a little bit. I've got some insulation I had to put in, this stuff here. The actual roof was made of tin, and on a hot day, we had a couple of 30-degree days just out of the blue. It heated up like a hot box in here. It was pretty bad. So eventually I'll insulate the walls, and I'll put paneling here to keep it cooler. The problem I have is I have to ferment in here. To ferment in here, I'll really need an air conditioning. But I could have a fermentation fridge that I could use in this. And right now I'm doing a pressure ferment on this Firmzilla here. The pressure fermenter is dodgy. Not the actual Firmzilla seal is not good. It's working at about 8 pounds, 8 psi right now. And it's actually fermenting well. And what I've got is a Mangrove Jack's, I'll show you, temperature controller. This is set to heat at the moment only. I've got it at about 21 degrees at the moment to keep it that way. And it fluctuates up and down. It turns my heater on, which is in here, because it's 12 degrees outside, so it's terrible. It's like winter. And there's my little bloke here, working away. And in here, in a few days' time, I'm going to dry hop. So I also needed places to hang my stuff, so I've hung my gear up here, which is a bit of a mess at the moment, but I will get better at it. This is where I keep my GoPro camera when I'm brewing on this bench. The issue I've got is positioning cameras. I can't seem to position the cameras where I want. At the moment I've got my Grainfather down here, which is near the window, so when I start boiling, the steam will go out the window. That is probably the only solution I have at the moment without having to plumb running water in a tap and a sink, which I don't really need. I can get away with what I'm doing. I've got a messy, what do you call it, shelving. I've got another one of these I've got to put up. That is going to be sorted out. This one here is going to be all my brewing gear. And the one I'm going to put on this side, which I'm going to build today, is going to have all my tools. So it's all going to stay there with my bike and other things. So that'll keep it out of the way. Yeah, so it's a bit of a mess. I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress. So eventually it'll be a nice little tidy setup and hopefully organised. So I hope you liked it. I think it's a great setup so far. And that's about all for now. While I've been waiting for the brew to work and do stuff, it does recommend to rehydrate your yeast. I've rehydrated it, of course, so it smells like yeast. Did it in 30 degrees, it was about 32 degrees Celsius water, just hot water. Sanitised everything, of course. When the brew is ready to go into the fermenter, I'll just pour the yeast in, it's already activated, it'll probably start going much quicker. That's why they say to rehydrate it. In a way, everything I've ever done, I've never had to rehydrate my yeast. I might next time do a yeast starter, which takes about a day or two to do. That'll happen probably in the next couple of brews, after Christmas I suppose, or after New Year's. So that'll be interesting to learn how to do that. Alright guys, we're about to do our Sparge. Let's get into it, huh? Alright, I need to put 10.5 litres of 75 degrees Celsius water into the brew. Oh, it's hot, sorry. So I'll just quickly grab the lid off. I need the handle, pull the Sparge out, pull the basket out I should say. You'll see this, hopefully you can see this. Alright. Our basket of grains comes up fairly weighty. Right. Let that drain a bit. What this has done is the grains themselves have filtered out the water, the wort. So what happens now is I get hopefully mostly filtered wort into the next chamber, which in turn gives me a cleaner brew. So that's how we do it. This basket is for the hop edition, which is a few, and I do have to get some scales to do it. So let's go on for it. We'll open that up. Over here. And we'll start sparging. And with this sparge, basically pour it around the top basket like this. And all it does is puts cleaner water through the sifting system, so it washes out as much sugars as it possibly can. Now I boiled the water in the pot, the Sparge water, on the stove because it was one of the best ways to do it. At the moment, if you can hear it, it's bucketing down rain outside, so I'm glad I'm here doing this. Alright guys, the Sparge is getting close to an end. I've just pulled this basket out, this filter out. You can see now what's going on. All the fresh water's gone on top, and it's actually filtered all out the grains. So now it's pretty much clear water coming out at the bottom, just enough to get it all right and ready. So as you can see, the water is ready to boil. I'll just check the measurement on how high it is, what the water level is. 8, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, 25.5 litres we are. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Hit the little bell so you can be notified for the next video in this series. And we'll see you then.